welcome back, and today I have a very special guest, and today we're going to be talking all about life in North Korea. How do North Korean girls deal with periods? What is LGBTQ like in North Korea? Can they listen to K-pop? If not, what happens, and are the punishments very severe? I also answer some of your questions that you guys submitted to me. Thank you so much to Yeonmi Park for being a guest today. Remember to go and check out her channel. If you guys appreciate and enjoy this video, remember to hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell because I reply to all my early birds that come to my videos early. My name is Grace. I just had so many questions for you too, and one of the biggest question I had was, what is North Korean's beauty standard?
So when I went to South Korea, I was really shocked to hear the words like V-line, S-line. There's no such a thing in North Korea saying like V-line is pretty or S-line is pretty. And also, talking about the hairstyles was so shocking. So in North Korea, they like somebody like roundish, looks more like the moon shape, the face.
Oh, okay.
They don't like the V shape. And actually, big head is pretty. We think that's a better thing to do.
What?
And also, we don't like the skinny people, you know, like the men with like big belly and boards. Usually it's a symbol of power. So, you know, Kim Jong-un is not the most like unattractive man in North Korean standard. And then in South Korea, Kim Jong-un is so not attractive. But in North Korea, quite the opposite.
Wow, that's so interesting. What is the beauty standard of, let's say, you and I in North Korean standard? Like 1 to 10. Well, how would you like? Are we too skinny for North Korea?
We are really skinny for North Korean. But the thing is like you look more like, you are not like V-line South Korean like idol group. So you're gonna be very popular for your face though. Because you have very light skin. North Korea do like the light skin, and women, they don't want to be too skinny. They don't want them to be like bony at all. So in the past, it actually even preferred the women to have some reserve in their stomach, tummy. Because most of them are all skinny, so it was not something a good thing. But I think you're gonna be beautiful in both Koreas, so.
Well, I guess because if you're skinny, it means you didn't eat, technically.
Yeah.
Do you guys have plastic surgery in North Korea now?
They do, but not like the extent like South Korea go for. Like South Korea does like yangak, like grind the bones. Not like that. They do like eyelid surgery, and I heard like in Pyongyang they might be able to do the nose surgery. Not like as advanced. They don't have like 3D machine to make it. They can do the eyelid surgery. It's very common to do the eyelids. People in their like in the back door in their home, they do just like sometimes without any like painkiller or anesthesia. So it's very black market, not safe, you know, environment they do it.
So it's not illegal to get it done?
It's not illegal, but it's like regulated. In South Korea, they make sure that you get clean environment to do it. It's just like whoever has knife and have any skill, they don't need even certificate to do it.
Oh wow.
Anyone who just learned in the back behind the maybe street, they can perform on you if you want it.
Is it allowed to have certain type of makeup? Like could you have contour and like thick makeup, or is that illegal?
If you're adult, you can wear makeup, but not like the smoky makeup or like red lip. Not like the smoky makeup, like what is that called, like baking your face right here.
Yeah.
Not like that. There's like fashion police in North Korea. They make sure that what hair length you are, what you're wearing. They check everything that you wear, you present. So you might get caught by them and get punished.
With the clothings, can we wear like K-pop clothings on the street in the summer?
No. You know, wearing jeans in North Korea, it's considered to be a symbol of capitalism. If you wear jeans, you're gonna get arrested. They can just like rip off your jeans and send you in a labor camp. Every clothes when you wear, we have to wear the badges of Kim, dictators. Women's skirts had to be certain length. So when I went to South Korea, that was also shocking too. Like when I arrived in South Korea, it was a girl generation wearing these short pants, like called hot pants, and really short. Never seen anything like that in my life in North Korea. You know, we don't even have a word for hot pants, and you cannot show your body figure. Of course, you can never like wear like what I'm wearing. You cannot never show this your
Not
shoulder.
even this.
You have to wear like cover at least here or like here usually.
So what do you wear like at the beach or pool?
I never seen beach in North Korea because I mean we don't have freedom of movement, so you know people are barely surviving. We cannot like go to beach, and we don't even know the word of vacation. I never knew what hobbies were or vacations were. You know, we did have pool, but it's really dirty and muddy, and you just wear normal your clothes and you go to like river, and you don't have a laundry machine, just you wash them in the river. So usually when we go to river, We just go there to wash our clothes and we take a bath in the river.
Wow, because what we see, because I thought at least people lived, now 2020, I thought people lived still in apartments and had showers. That's not the case for like everyone.
No, most of people do not even know what shower is. We
Wow.
don't have a running electricity or running water, so we still have to go to, pumping the water, go to the river, go to anywhere to find the drinking water. And life is way more like 15th, 16th century life, medieval lifestyle.
Wow, so what is the thing we see on TV? Is that like rich people, poor people, middle class, like that?
Things you see is the propaganda Kim Jong-un makes, so people to believe. And of course, Kim Jong-un has everything that he needs. But the most of people's lives are vastly different. And North Korea's average living standards has been going down ever since.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's not getting better for them.
So we see on TV now a little bit that North Korea now has cell phones. Do you know what is inside North Korean cell phones?
So North Korea does have a cell phone, but once you buy the device, they crack the part where you can insert the SD card. And then they crack the part where you cannot ever have internet. So the phone can only make the landline domestic calls. And then the phones never has internet.
But you don't have like just North Korean internet.
They do have something called intranet, but then it is the only thing that you get like propaganda things. The government controls it. It's not like people control it. So if you want to download the app, like usually it's a game app, then you have to go to a physical store. You get approved, and then they install a game, very simple app.
North Korean Instagram, no social media.
No.
Wow. What happens if you listen to K-pop? And can people listen to K-pop a little bit now that it's 2020?
No, now it's way worse under new dictator. So when he came into power in the beginning, he was executing 100 people over watching South Korean movies and reading some Bible, and some of them watch. Kim Jong-un is way stricter than his second Kim, the Kim Jong-il. Therefore, if you watch South Korean movies, you will get severely punished. You can even go to prison camp. We have seen South Korean films, the idol groups. We don't know what they are called, but we have seen them. But this is a very major crime.
Okay, so you can't even listen to anything but North Korean pop. Do you have North Korean pop?
We have something called the Moranbong Akdan by Kim Jong-un. So each Kim dictator had their own pleasure squad and also their own musical band. But the thing is the things they sing is all propaganda songs. It's not about love songs or any personal feelings. It's all about dedicating their life and glorifying the regime.
So what is North Korean wife life? Do you guys have female empowerment?
There is no word called feminism, and there's no word for equality, or even there's no word for love. The only love that North Koreans know is the love for the dear leader. There is no such a thing called romance or romantic or proposal. It's even there's no concept of friends. If you and I were became friends, we would call each other comrades, because we are all revolutionaries. We are not friends. Therefore, those words doesn't exist, and women, most of them get beaten by their husbands, and of course there's no way they go to police and ask for help. Women in North Korea, they are the main victims of all this oppression.
So how do you get married then?
My mom's case, they were parents matched them. It didn't really matter what they felt about each other. But some people do fall in love, but they don't use the word love about it. They say, I like that person. Now, love is very something holy concept that we only reserve it to use to the dear leader. Therefore, my mom never told me that she loved me. My father, my mom, they never told us they loved each other. Wow. It's not something us human can love another human. That is something very shameful thing, and in school we never learn what Romeo and Juliet is. Yeah.
Oh, this is a popular question. What does North Korea think about LGBTQ?
So I remember when I came to America, I had a conference, and some really handsome guy I was invited to speak, and then he just hugged me and then said don't worry baby, I'm gay. So I was what the heck is he talking about, right? I never heard that thing. So I went back to the hotel room and I looked up gay, what is it? And I couldn't believe it, what it was. Importance of language is that if you don't know the word, that means you don't understand the concept. Therefore, the regime didn't even bother to put that gay or LGBT in the dictionary. So people don't even know. I'm sure there are gay people or lesbians exist, but I don't think they know what that is, or the word to describe what it is. That's how they made us so ignorant about our feelings, and that's why I just never knew what it was, never heard about it.
Oh, is it true that still do you have to have certain hairstyle for females and males still?
Yeah, there are something around 16 different styles for men and something around similar to women. And if you are a student, your hair cannot be longer than behind your ear. They measure it with a measurement. If you are married woman, your hair can be a bit longer. The very strict standard for men, their hair cannot be longer than 2 inch, and like there are certain like 65 years or something, they can have like 2 and maybe half inch. Really strict rule for hairstyle and length of it.
So, but what if you're too poor to go to the barbershop? What do you do? Just
Oh,
cut
they're gonna cut it for you on the street.
Oh, wow.
And you're gonna write a lot of self-criticism, gonna write it down your sin and do a lot of labor to pay your price for your sin.
Wow, just for your hair.
Oh yeah.
Do you know why that is? Is that just for control? Is that for style?
In a communist or socialist system, right, they want people to be focusing on the revolution and serving the dictator. Not about themselves, not about like expressing themselves. Like block every way for individuals to be a human. And the way they can control it is like controlling, what you listen to, what you watch, what you wear, what your hairstyle is gonna be, everything. They have to control it.
How likely is a normal North Korean be able to meet the dictator? Does everyone meet him at least once in their life or no?
No, not even my ears. It's like the chance to meet the dictator is like rarer than average person meets their president. No way.
Oh really?
It's yeah, like how many Americans get to meet their president, right? So the fact that if you get to meet the dictator, they call themselves like 영접자, like the almost similar the person who has seen the sun of this universe. And because they regard Kim as the son of this universe, and if you do get to meet them, your life is really covered. They protect you for the rest of your life, and they consider your like status in society very high up. When Kim visits the militaries or the factories, everybody has been gone through the process of extreme surveillance, and if you're in that place, you do get that honor.
How do North Korean girls deal with periods? Do you guys have stores that have tampons and pads?
I remember I was getting my first period when my mother was not present, and I was so scared because we don't have any sex education in school. They don't teach us what it is. So when that happens, we think we might die or something. It's very scary thing. I know. And also the thing is like there's no word like tampons. The pads is like they do have the sanitary pads, but only for the top elite in Pyongyang.
Wow.
So I never seen any of it. Like we rip off our like blankets, all the clothes, and we wash them again. It's really not sanitary. It's really, there's no freedom for them when they have periods. They cannot really go out easily and sleep easily. And also the thing is that we don't have a laundry machine to wash things. Things don't get dry forever in the winter time. We have to get the water to wash them. It's really, life is like double hard for women to be there without these like basic necessary needs.
So how about people who are able to get them? Are they just selected people who can only have pads?
Those people are the ones in Pyongyang, in the capital. But not even entire people in Pyongyang, only like 1 to 5% can afford it.
Does North Korea have Maxim Playboy magazine at all?
I know, that was like, so there's no such a thing like called cookbook. Cookbook is only possible when you have the ingredients to make those. It's a luxury. Like whenever I cooked as a child, like it's not like I looked at recipe. Whatever I had that moment, I would make it. And most people never even get to see cookbook. And therefore, as I said, sexuality is something a shameful thing. Therefore, there's no way they can allow that anything like a sexy thing in the magazine.
So then how is like the North Korean's wife? Is she from Pyongyang, or like can you be somehow picked from somewhere else?
There's like elite people and the common people, and North Korea, even though it's a socialist system, they got something 50 different classes, 50, so many classes, different classes, and it depends on your birth status. Therefore, you cannot marry across those classes. And the funny thing is like in the other countries, right, if the women can marry up, but in North Korea, if you marry somebody lower status, you only go down. Even the man was something coming from the high classes, they're gonna go down with the woman. Therefore, it really prevents people to marry across different classes.
There was a rumor, I don't know where this rumor came from, but that if you're really pretty, do they pick you for that dance thing?
Yeah, so they do go around the country in the middle school, high school, elementary school, even to hunting out these girls who can be the pleasure squad to dictators and high elites. They picked for even being a cook, being a cleaner, even be cleaning the this resort for dictator has to be very pretty. But the thing is that even you being picked by that is the greatest honor, because once you get picked by them, you're not gonna be going into starvation. The fact that you are not gonna starve death is like the greatest lucky chance you get, like lottery, right? They don't like all of them can go, even though they are pretty. They have their status has to be good, and they have to be also virgin.
Oh, really? How do you even check that?
They check it. They do physical checkup. They take them around 16, 17 to Pyongyang, and they check them rigorous, and they check like measurements of their legs, shape, everything. They create a system of picking these ladies who fits their standard.
So what is something you wish people knew about you without the North Korean title?
I guess I'm a very average people, average person who thinks about the future, who struggles, what I'm gonna do. I'm not that different. I mean, the things that I'm trying to do in this world is a bit unique, because I'm trying to bring down the dictator, free my people. Unfortunately, I saw the horror, and I know how actually people being treated in that country. But I mean, anyone who gone through what I went through, I'm sure they will choose this path. When I meet Americans, or especially South Korean, Korean Americans in America, they get so shocked to see me that when I tell them I'm from North Korea. And they were like, oh my god, you look like me. And I'm like, yeah, I look like you. I think they just really think North Koreans are some brainwashed, very robot looking people who are so different. But we are same Koreans, same people.
So what do you do now other than the activism?
I'm a mom.
What?
Yeah, being a mom, I have a child who's half North Korean, half American. And when I got his birth certificate, I couldn't believe it. It actually says mom is from North Korea and father's from America. I don't know how many babies are half North Korean and half American. Yeah, so I feel so blessed about it. Yeah, that's my life.
Ooh, is there any superstitions in North Korea? Ghosts, gebabyk.
Tons of them, too many. My grandmas would tell me, don't look at the mirror at night, don't comb your hair at night.
Have you seen a ghost in North Korea?
No. So unfortunately, I never can see any of that.
Oh.
Also, the thing is we don't have internet, we don't have 24 hours electricity. All we can do is talking to each other. There's every interaction we got is only in-person interaction, and we don't have Netflix at all. We got only one channel, and that is all propaganda. So people really talk.
Ooh, are there many people who wish to escape North Korea, and do you guys talk about it with each other?
Sometimes if we really trust each other, because in North Korea, there are so many spies. The first thing my mom taught me as a child was not to even whisper, because the birds and mice could hear me. Therefore, people really can't talk about those things, but sometimes they do, and a lot of people do want to escape, but they just can't.
What do you miss about North Korea? Food, friends?
I miss everything about North Korea, except the system. When we escape, it's not like we hate our people or hate our culture, tradition, country. We just didn't like the dictator. We couldn't survive in that system. That's why we escaped. It's wonderful people living there here.
Is there any old friends that escaped you that you were able to connect?
Yeah, it was amazing. The friends that I grew up with in northern part of North Korea, we were separated because we were escaping, and then I found her. One day she texted me on Facebook. This is blah blah, do you remember me? And because she escaped and came to South Korea and found me on Facebook, and that's how we got connected.
Ooh, were people most helpful when they found out you were from North Korea, or not helpful?
Depends. In South Korea, unfortunately, I did face a lot of discrimination, and eventually I had to lie people that I wasn't a North Korean. I try my best to fix my accent, try to fit in. And in America, a lot of times they don't really care. They just care about who I am today.
Yeah.
They don't care about where I'm coming from. Especially in China, right? If I do tell people, they try to catch me and send back to North Korea and be tortured and sent to prison camp.
What does North Korea think about China, since they're very close?
They do admire China a lot, because China was us, socialist country and a communist country, and then they became, economically advanced. Also the regime make us to hate Chinese sometimes, because they were not strong enough to hold this political ideology. Not a lot of people can be aware of the outside world that much. When I was in North Korea, I never even seen the map of the world. I didn't even know what Africa was or Canada was. I just knew a few countries and didn't really know much about them.
That was actually one of the fan questions who asked, are you taught about geography? Like, what do they teach you about the world?
The thing is that based on your class and status, your education can be so vastly different. Like my case, I couldn't really even afford to go to school afterwards and I couldn't really learn much. But the people like Kim Jong-un or the high elite people, they go to Switzerland to be educated. Therefore, it's hard to generalize the whole population. But the most of people in the bottom, they are so kept ignorant by purpose the regime, and they don't teach them about, French Revolution. They don't teach them about anything.
I heard that North Korea has a different year. Is that true?
Yep. So the North Korea year begins when the first Kim Il-sung was born in 1912, April 15. And, like in the US, like our calendar begins when the Jesus Christ was born. And that's why I always said like North Korea is a religious cult. It begins when Kim was born, called like Juche year. Now North Korea's gotta be like Juche 100 or something, or 8 or something, or 9.
Do they know that outside of North Korea it's 2020?
They don't really know what Jesus Christ is. So we don't know the random years that international use, but we don't even know the meaning of it, why it's different. Like Juche year matters more to us.
Jay says, does she want to go back to North Korea to visit her family? Is that even possible? Your relatives now.
I go back, I will be executed. I'm already like target list. They're trying to kill me even while I'm here. All my relatives been punished because I spoke out. North Korea, there's a system called guilt by association. So if one person does wrong in their standard, they punish 3 generations of the family. So they have been punished because of me.
Do they tell you the news about what happened to them, or you just assume that happened?
No, it's not assuming. I'm working with a lot of people under the ground in North Korea. I have contacts. I share get a lot of information out of them. And North Korean regime didn't make a video on the YouTube actually to putting all my relatives in this propaganda video denouncing me that I'm the puppet of the Western propaganda. So I don't know if they've been executed or sent to prison camp. Okay. That's why also there's no revolution in North Korea. If you rise, you are not the only one who's gonna get died. You're like 3 generations of your family gonna be punished.
Why can't people all gather up for the government?
We believe that Kim's our God. People just did not know. And even if they know, their power is so limited, people cannot even go to next town without permission. Yeah, the thing is they don't have weapons, they don't have guns, and they don't even have food to survive the next meal. Around 22 to 24 million people. More than 60% of them are severely malnourished. Where do you get that energy to fight back? There's no way you can do that.
Elizabeth asked, was there at any time you left that you regretted your decision?
No, because if I left back in North Korea, I would have been dead so many years by now. I would have been dead by starvation mostly when I was 13. The only reason that I'm alive and able to breathe right now is because I escaped.
Hannah asked, do you feel there is gender equality, men and women?
No, we don't even know the concept. People don't even know what human rights is. When I went to South Korea, I was hearing this word called animals' rights. I couldn't really believe what do you mean animals have rights? And therefore, of course, there's no concept of gender equality.
So there's no dog, cat, pets. You don't have pets.
Rarely the people do have pets, dogs or cats, but recently Kim Jong-un asked to be confiscate them all so they can eaten by people. Because people are starving, and he thought why would you give them wasting any food on animals? The fact that we can care about animals is because we have luxurious life. A lot of civilization went through that. Even America, when we were finding this country, there was cannibalism. So that's how harsh North Korean environment is for the people.
Pets are luxury if you think about it.
Absolutely.
Chloe asks, are there positive aspects of life in North Korea?
Definitely, I think people know how to connect each other in North Korea. There's no devices bring us to be isolated. People have to survive with each other. My neighbors are closer than anybody. I know even how many chopsticks they have in my neighbors. That's how close we are to another human. But here living in America, I don't even know who's living next door. Even though we have these devices and living in luxurious life, we are way more lonely than I think North Koreans. I think that's what I really miss the most.
Well, I know you have a book. Can you where can we even find it or buy it? Amazon?
This is my book, In Order to Live. It is on Amazon, everywhere. So bookstores everywhere. So many people actually asking me about South Korea and K-pop. It's been really fun to talk to you because on my channel I always talk about North Korean things, right? And it is amazing how many people are actually being interested in Korea, even though we are like this tiny country.
We have BTS blowing up in America. It's crazy.
I think that's what I'm trying to do with my YouTube channel as well. I try to make people aware that North Korea is not about just all about this boring politics. There are people like us living there, and there's a culture, there's a tradition, and something we can learn from.
Well, thank you so much for the interview.
No, thank you so much for having me. It's been really fun.
Let me know what you guys have thought about this video. Any questions and comments, and all her social media and the book link will be down in the description box below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and see you guys in my next video.